Hello everyone, and my players have just addressed that there was a little bit of confusion because I forgot something in the description. This is not the first time they're sitting down with dinner with the Moff. Because the Moff's place has been used as a source of operations for the city, there's no places for the players to stay. They've been staying in the shuttle. In last session, the Moff had to sit down with them and described, here's what we need. Resistance are in the sewers. We need to take out my father. We need to do all of this. And one thing that the players had mentioned is they would need to contact command to get more permissions, right? So nothing was actually decided on, and the Moff was a little embittered by it. So the Moff has called them back from their recess to the same dinner to discuss what the hell is going on, and he handed them tablets and said, you contact him now. You contact whoever's in charge. We need to get this ball moving. And that's where we are in this scene. So let's go ahead and open up on the 3, and then we're going to do something with Maru. So the scene reopens. You guys have the data pads, and it looks like the young Moff has compiled everything that you would need to know in order to pledge his case to the Council of Moffs, or even to whoever is in charge that you're dealing with. I felt that in this episode I want to describe the palace a little more because it is a key location for this group, and it's something that I did in Ashes to Ashes and it went well, so that's why we all had a part in what the palace looked like. This is technically your headquarters. No, your ship is not your headquarters. Your ship can be blown up at any time. So I did not want that to be your headquarters. That's true, but a lot less easily than the ship. So let's cut back to the dinner scene. And a lot of your plates are still there, half-eaten. He's bringing out desserts as we speak. And he's standing, as you guys are overviewing these, he's standing at the window looking out with his hands crossed behind his back. As you can see, he begins, I would be a capable Moff. And my father, he turns, kind of looks at you guys, is an absolute failure. As it is already, we've gotten reports that some of his fungal monstrosities from the attack are ravaging the city. No worries, my men should have no problem putting them down. What have you guys decided on killing my father? I need to know now.
Well, sir.
Teal's like reading through the data pad while he's talking.
It's mainly
and when he
things
asked
like
the question
illegal things that the Moff has done, and the things that the young Moff has had to do to ensure stability.
Okay. As he's skimming through it, basically, and he asks the question again, Teal just lays the data pad down, face down on the table, takes another drink of water, doesn't say a word. And he'll glance to Ty.
So Ty, both Skirb and Teal are looking at you like, well?
Well, sir. You have our vote that we will take care of your father, but of course, we need to get acknowledgement from our Council of Moffs.
But of course. I've established long-range communications. If you use this room here, you should be able to make a communication to whomever you need to.
Is it the same room that he's in?
Oh, yes.
Or... Okay.
He wants action now.
Yeah. Well, sir, unfortunately, with the sensitivity of our knowledge of who's in charge, you will have to leave this room and everybody that's associated with you.
I understand. And he looks over to his stepmother. Assemble everyone out in the hall. We shall wait. He turns to you guys. I assure you the room is soundproof, and as you may have noticed, there's no security or surveillance equipment in here. I have faith.
I'll nod to Tyr, reassuring that.
Yeah. I have faith that you will do whatever is in the best interests of the Imperial Remnant. And he smiles, nods. And as he's leaving, not in a fatherly embrace, but a friendly embrace, he kind of squeezes Ty's shoulder as he's sitting down, saying, I understand the burdens you're under. Hopefully you'll make the right decision. And then he steps out of the room. The room shuts, and as it shuts, you guys may notice you hear a shunk as it seals. And you do know it's soundproof because you can't hear the commotion of the people running around trying to figure stuff out.
With that, I'll get up and look to Skirb.
Permission to speak freely? Okay. Yeah, good point. I'm going to take my scanner and I'll scan around.
Based on your success before, I will automatically give it to you. Nothing. No tracking devices, no bugs, no nothing.
Okay. We're clear, sir.
You wanted to say something?
Yes, I think this young Moff is stepping outside of his bounds, or he's not even a Moff. What am I talking about? He parades himself like a Moff, and I do believe he could be more than capable, but you have to remember his father still is in charge, technically.
Yes, his father is in charge, but as you can see what his father's doing, I mean, he has to be taken down.
Going based on my perceptions of Imperial behavior in the past, the level of illegal activity as his father is accused of will prevent this kid from ever attaining a position of power in the Empire. If we take his father down for these charges, his career will be scuttled in the process, as well as anyone else that's a part of the higher command on this planet.
Well, we have one of two choices. We do nothing, and this whole place burns, or we kill his father, let foreign take over, or for temporary takeover, until the Council of Moffs can put somebody else in charge.
I think there's a better option.
I'm all ears.
As I said, if we bring these charges against the Moff, the kid will be tainted. I think the better option would be for us to take out the resistance, and get this kid off the planet and let him plead his case in person to the Moffs. That way, he'll be able to make his case, and it'll be directly from him. And then, of course, the Council of Moffs can contact us if they want us to capture or execute.
But the only semblance of authority has been coming from this kid. He's been keeping this city safe. If we export him off planet, all those citizens are surely doomed. And they are Imperial citizens. We do have a duty to look out for them.
Right, but I mean...
You guys hear something. It almost sounds like the thump of a subwoofer. And then your glasses on the table tremble. Water ripples. And there's a flash coming from the window.
Right, Core. Oh.
I'm going to move quickly to the window and see what it is.
I'm going to go with the idea that this is probably not good, and I'm going to put my helmet back on.
Yeah. You put your helmet back on. You guys see an explosion. Down in the town center, there is a government building. This is where all of those employees that worked operated. And there's a large explosion coming from the building. And you do see the flashing lights of emergency vehicles throughout the city.
Resistance.
Okay, well, I'll contact the Council of Moffs, but first, we're going to take care of the resistance. And we're going to try to keep the Moff and his forces centralized at the factory district, so they don't get out any farther, don't spread this virus any farther.
There's a knock at the door.
I'll get it, and I'm just going to walk over there quickly and, I guess, unlock it.
Yeah,
from the
it's
inside?
locked from the inside. Okay. So yeah, you can unlock it and open it.
Yeah, I'll unlock it kind of.
The young Moff is standing there, the color flushed from his face, and he hands you a data pad. Forget my ambitions. You're needed in the town square. There's still some governmental officials there dealing and helping the people. Trade. Economics. They're under siege. And he hands you this little data pad that's got footage of these fungal creatures jumping on people and shooting their proboscises inside their mouths or inside their chest. And then after a few moments, like, you could see the rest has been fast-tracked. It goes and speeds up 30 minutes. During your guys' dinner and deliberation, the situation has gotten much worse. And the citizens start getting up and going and chasing after other citizens.
With that, I'm going to run over to the table, toss the data pad down so they can see it, and pretty much just say, all right, gentlemen, let's gear up.
Cool.
We're doing a search and rescue for citizens at the government building. So, Skirb, get the ship ready. Teal, you're already armored up. Let's go, and let's get Maru.
Yes, sir.
I'll say Maru's on the shuttle, keeping it prepped. I will meet you there shortly. And while they're, like, going to get geared up, I'm going to walk down the hall to, like, you said the upstairs had, like, command center looking area.
Yes.
I'm going to find the ranking stormtrooper.
Are you looking for a stormtrooper or are you looking for an officer?
Well, the stormtrooper corps is their own. It's like the Marines,
Right.
So, like, I'm looking for a stormtrooper officer, not
Okay.
Army or Navy. I'm looking for a
no
stormtrooper
problem.
corps.
You find that there are stormtroopers actually in one of the den, where there's a bunch of shelves with library books and hollow discs, and a HoloNet transponder that's not being used, and they're all sitting there as packed as can be, including the riot troops. And he's like, "All right, men," and he's got a wand as he's pointing to this hastily pinned up map of the city that's over some of the shelves. He says, "It looks like the infected have breached." And as you go in there, you do see there is a screen where they've got some holo feeds, like different security cameras, probes that have found footage. And you see one of the walls, the infected are pouring over the city wall and filtering inside. Unfortunately, we're going to have to forget about the city core. We need to head to the walls for defense. That is our objective. The Moff says he has other plans to help secure the center of the core, and then his eyes stop on you and your armor, and he goes, here it is right now. And he motions towards you.
I'll look to the sergeant and give a nod of recognition of the task he's up against, basically, and say, I need your best squad that you can spare.
I cannot give you my best squad. We've already lost all of the exterior defense. I need them at the wall. We need to stop this wave. And then he kind of looks at you like, what are you going to say about that? And feel free to make any rolls if you want to try to...
Teal looks at the wave, and then he looks back to the sergeant. The city may be lost, but Felucia and the Empire will make it through this. I need you to assign a squad that is capable of, when the time comes, they need to escort them off to the ship that we recovered at the shipyard. I can't remember what the name of it was.
Well, it's not at the
Warhammer.
shipyard. It's floating above because the shipyard's been lost. You guys kept it floating above the palace.
So, when the time comes, I need you to have a squad ready to get the Moff to that ship.
Sir, as you may know, the Moff is at the factory with his own forces.
I nod to that. Yes, and when the time comes, we will be taking him with us.
They nod.
And he'll just kind of get quiet for a moment and then say, from here, though, I need a squad ready to escort the Moff's family to the ship as well.
That won't be a problem. We'll escort the Moff's family to several shuttles and we'll lift them up to the ship. As for the Moff, I'll send a good portion of my troops to head to the factory district and we'll convince him that he needs to evacuate immediately.
He nods to that. Be careful. And then he'll just turn and he'll start to leave, and he'll turn and he'll look at the rank and file stormtroopers, all of you, and then he'll continue on out.
There you go. Sir, yes, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. I want you to take a boost die. Whenever you're communicating with stormtroopers that you find on the ground, you've got their respect.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you...
I need it because I don't have leadership worth crap.
Yeah. So you head out into the main causeway on the second story. You see Skirb and Ty preparing to leave on the lower floor, and the Moff's just kind of briefing them. Please, there's data at this facility. Even if the people are all lost, I need that data purged, because if the Resistance gets their hands on it, they'll know every defensive point on the planet, including the ion cannons on the other side. So that is your objective. I need you to get down there, and I need you to secure that facility. Luckily, you have that Wookiee friend of yours.
While I make my way up, I'm going to flip on my comm unit to speak to Ty, like the internal helmet one, to where it can't be overheard, really.
Well, keep in mind, he has no helmet. He's just wearing his clothing. All of his stuff is on the shuttle.
Oh, I thought they were gearing up, you said. Okay.
No, they got to go out to the shuttle to gear up.
Okay. I'll look to Ty, and I'm gonna say this to Ty, but I'm saying it like where the Moff can hear as well. I'll say that I've instructed the Stormtrooper commander here that if we give the signal, that they are to see to it that the Moff and his family are evacuated to our ship.
The Moff's son nods.
Good work, too.
I'll start getting everyone ready.
Teal just kind of nods and heads for the door. Like, he's like, I'm done waiting.
Yeah. Skirb's, I'm just gonna crack my knuckles and let's go purge some data, and I'm gonna walk off to the shuttle as well.
Yeah, and the moment that you walk off to the shuttle, you see that the atmosphere of getting ready for the siege has completely changed outside. Now they're entrenched, and it's quiet. And in the shuttle, Maru, you were standing there with the guards outside, and one of them said, "No, please, you gotta stay here. You're not allowed to go back inside." But, and the party was like, just stay here, it's fine. But the guards just all of a sudden leave the shuttle unattended. And... Go ahead.
I look outside. Do I hear sirens blaring and all that stuff?
No. The Moff's Palace is lifted higher than the town, and it's a little far away from that. But you could see the explosion, like the cloud lifting up into the sky.
Okay. I go, that's probably bad. I walk over to the comms and I go, Commander.
Ty.
Yeah, I'll grab my comm link.
Is it Captain or Lieutenant?
I
How
know.
did we actually decide on? I don't remember.
It's Captain.
Oh,
Right, he was Captain, I was Lieutenant, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Captain.
Yes, Maru.
There's an explosion outside.
Yes, we're going to a government building to purge some data to make sure the Resistance doesn't get it. So make sure you're geared up. We're going to be at the shuttle in a moment.
Yeah.
Knew that'd make you happy.
I buckle up.
I just imagine
Like
you
the
kicking your
freaking
legs
toddler, like getting in,
Yeah,
buckling
like-
up, and he's sitting there. The shuttle's
He's
not
got a
going anywhere.
sippy cup.
Like, wait.
Yeah,
Those
so
are
you
acorn
guys
juice.
have no problem getting to the shuttle. Skirp, I'm not going to make you roll a piloting to take off, but I will make you roll a piloting to land. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you cannot land at a hangar or a spaceport. That hangar and spaceport has been completely infested. You're going
No
to have
problem.
to touch down on the roof of a building.
All right, sweet.
So why don't you describe to me yourself leaving the I mean, I'm going to say that you guys spend the next 10 minutes gearing up. Is there anything you guys want to say to each other while you're gearing up?
Actually, since they need to gear up, I'll take over piloting for the exit at least, and swap it out whenever.
Okay, yeah. I would assume
whatever.
it would take a few minutes unless you guys are blasting really fast. And as
All I would say is that these guys are a bunch of racist pricks. I was really enjoying my food.
Teal will just kind of look tomorrow. Yeah, well, you didn't experience the worst of it.
Yeah.
So, Scurb, when we get there, I know the Moff wants it purged. I want a copy of it.
Okay, I think I can manage that.
Because it seems,
Hopefully the data cores are
do you
still
have a
intact when
slicer
we
kit?
get there. Yeah, it's built in.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, screw that guy.
if you can't, download it to your secure datapad. That way there's no chance of anyone other than us getting it off, really.
Okay.
Something's not adding up about this whole mess.
While they do that, I'm going to go see the doctor in the ship.
Okay. No, she's
yeah.
in the ship. You're on the shuttle.
We're in the shuttle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in a
Okay,
lab.
Yeah, yeah. Once we get to the ship, I'll go.
You're not
see her
going to
so I
the
can-
ship.
We're not going to the
Not
ship.
going to the ship. Going to the shuttle. Gotcha. So I'm going to communicate with her then.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
And excuse me, doctor, you there?
Yes, what do you need?
We are going to the government building at these coordinates, and I'll say the coordinates, whatever. We are going to be purging some data. If you can get Tony to look up any information on possible blueprints of the building and where to locate these files, that would be of utmost help.
She hears
Understood.
Mario in the back. Tell Tony I said hi.
Hi, Maru. She says, I will.
And there should be some shuttles showing up in case things go bad. So have Tony at the ready.
Understood.
All right.
All right.
So, Skirb, you're done
All right.
getting ready. You're flying
Yep,
towards...
I'm going to take over the sticks.
Do you guys want to take a high building, or do you want to hit a lower building to land on?
I want to hit the high building, but I don't want to hit it on the actual top of the building. I want to pull in a way that, like, the door in the shuttle will come down, and I can let them off on another floor. Like,
Okay, so if you go into a tall building, that's going to take a lot of time for you guys to get down. You will have a lot of floors
That we gotta run
that you
down.
got to run through.
well,
and
I'm not the
possibly fight-
tactical one. What do you guys want to do?
Where's the what's the government building like? Like how big
It's
is
a
it?
series of buildings. It's like in
It's
a
a series
town-
of buildings.
It's in a town square.
It's the government district, basically.
Yep.
Oh shit.
And it's got a
And
little wall
do we
around
know
it.
which building we need to get to for this?
Nope.
It could be anywhere in the district. Okay.
He's not going to... It's likely that these government files are not going to be, hey, everybody, it's in this building right here in this computer with this password and this username. That's not going to be something... That's probably something that the Moff son doesn't even know. He just knows
That's
they're
Bertie's
there.
guess.
So we're
Then we
looking
need-
for the mainframe.
Then we're gonna have
Right.
to split.
Okay.
Two go into the tall
Okay.
building, two go into the lower building.
Again, you can't really do that because if
We only
he
have one
flies...
shuttle.
Right, you have one shuttle. And
But
splitting...
he can drop us off.
Okay, hang on.
Uh,
Think
hang on.
zombies. Think zombies, okay? This city is infested. Think a mixture between War Z and Resident Evil. How comfortable would you be feeling, oh, you know, I know this skyscraper has nothing to do with the government building at all. I'm going to put you on the 20th floor, and now you got to go down 20 floors.
So
to
I
this-
didn't know it was like
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know. I
it
thought that was
part of the
part of it.
concept.
Okay,
Oh,
then
no,
the lower
no.
building.
No.
Sorry.
Okay,
but
so
if you, as a squad, if you want to take the taller building, it would make more sense as a squad to move down it, but I'm letting you know it will take more time. Or maybe from the
The-
top you could rappel.
the government district. How many buildings are there?
From what you can see, probably 7 or 8 in this like
Okay.
little town center. But they're not
And
buildings. They're like here's a building that happens to have 4 rooms attached. It almost looks like a tiny little compound, but it's very ritzy.
Okay. So we could sweep it.
So there's
pretty
not
fairly easily.
there's not a skyscraper in the district. It's just
No,
a question of
there's just buildings
skyscrapers
around it. And you're not going to be able to sweep in because you can't fly close to it. There's currently a huge smoke cloud above it.
I don't know.
And if you guys want to risk that chance, you don't know what caused the explosion. You know, from a tactical standpoint, it's land outside the area, work your way in. Because
Right.
if the shuttle gets screwed, you have no way of getting back up to your ship.
Right. I think we should land on whatever the shortest, closest building is that is still above the smoke cloud, so that
Yeah,
like
so,
anyone
like,
on the
with
ground
a-
would not
something
see us
with a
land or
hangar.
anything like that.
Some
Yeah,
with
if
a
there
hangar
happens to be.
or a landing pad, or do you guys want to try to rough land on a roof? Because you can get really close without the smoke cloud interfering if you want to rough land on a roof.
I'd like to rough land on a roof.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, actually,
So the
right
closest
in
we
front
can
of you,
get
you
where
see
we
a
are
library.
just barely above the something like that.
You see an archive or a library right outside the government district, and
Okay.
the top of it has the point gabled A-frame glass, and you can just land right on that. I mean, it's glass.
Right.
Okay.
It is
That's
entirely
what-
also possible you could tell the shuttle to hover.
I think we need
Not
to
a
make it
bad idea.
land though, because we don't know how long this is going to take us.
Okay.
And I would rather have it land and lock it up so that we don't have to worry about someone jacking our ride.
If you want to land and lock it up, then it's probably better on a landing pad, but it's going to be a little further off. If you want to hard land on that roof, it can sit on top of the roof, on top of the broken glass, and then you guys can rappel down into the building to get to the government square. But again, it's not the most secure.
Right. We'll land there, close it up after we leave, and lock it with the security codes type thing.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Nobody can go
Okay.
through without the Imperial Pass anyway. You're just going to have to rappel back up when it comes to that point.
We'll figure it out.
I really hope none of you are unconscious.
with that, I just hope it's not Maru, because like that would take all 3 of us to haul him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's Serb, we just throw him over Maru's shoulder and let Maru fly.
Joshua's like, let's just
hell,
shoot him in
if
the
it's like
ankles with
2 other
ascension
people,
rifle.
I just carry them up.
Yeah.
Ascension pistol style. Okay, yeah.
And then as they're
yeah,
almost
let's-
dying, they're like, the music, it was us. No.
And then I just like, well, fuck you, drop his body.
Yeah,
All right.
so why don't you roll me
Yeah.
a piloting planetary, because we are in an atmosphere and there's gravity.
Okay.
It's a different kind
do
of
this.
animal. So piloting planetary against, I would have to say 2 difficulty. You've landed a shuttle before, but I'm going to throw 2 setback in because of the kind of landing it is.
Okay. I have, what is it? Where is it? It removes...
Skill jockey. Skill jockey.
Yeah, skill jockey at rank 2 removes 1 setback from
Or
each.
2
So,
for the 2 ranks. Nice.
Sir,
Look at that
Uh,
face.
And you
So
also get a
what
boost
is-
die, by the way. Because
Well, I'm assisting, but I have skilled assistance. So, what is your agility?
my agility is 3.
Okay, and what is your piloting?
My piloting planetary is 3 yellow.
Okay, so you have 3 yellow. I have 1 yellow and 4 green because I have 5 agility. So we use the 5 agility and your 3 piloting with skilled assistance. So it's
Okay.
3 yellow,
That
2
means-
green.
on there.
no
what
boost.
that? Hang on. Here's how you do this. You open up your dice pool. You're going to put 1 blue boost dice because of Tyro's advantage. You're going to put 2
Okay.
green.
Oh yeah.
The 2 green will represent the 5
The-
agility, but
The teamwork.
So just 2 green, and then on
Okay.
the other side 2 purple,
Okay.
and then you just go down to piloting planetary and click that. But before you do, let
Okay.
me make sure I was a good boy. I'm a good
And
boy.
cleared the pool.
And cleared the pool, like not an idiot, because that would be terrible. I have cleared the pool, so
Okay.
I'm going to need you, sir, to go ahead and roll me piloting planetary.
Don't screw it up.
Aha.
Okay. With that dice pool, you shouldn't have screwed it up. But
Okay, that's not a problem at all. You are able to land successfully. I need you to tell me how you land and what it looks like when you smash the windows.
Smash the glass. Okay, so I'm landing on top of the superstructure that the glass was previously attached to, right?
Mhm.
I kind of want to swoop in so that I make the engines bust the glass out, so it's nice and we can see it. There's no smoke or anything, and there's no glass, and just set it down, kind of like come in and turn the back around. So I'm setting down, facing the direction we flew in from, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And then I'm just setting it down right on top of where the glass used to be that just got busted out.
Yeah, so you bring the shuttle around, and as you're retracting the wings to get into landing shape, you're accelerating a little faster than normal so that you can smash this frame in the glass. And it just splash, and glass sprinkles down. And it almost goes inside the building a little bit until it rests on the frame. So it's actually like wedged in the frame of it. Now you guys can open the ramp, or you can drop out the emergency hatches with rappelling ropes.
We're going.
I'm gonna tell them we're down.
Yeah, Ty will be like, Maru and I will go first. Teal and Scurb, you bring up the rear.
Yes, sir.
And we'll use the emergency hatch to rappel down.
Yes.
So who's going first?
Me.
I'm gonna have Maru go first, and I'm gonna follow right behind him.
So if we're rappelling down, I'm gonna run to the edge.
You know what? Let's be cool about this. Let's say there's 4 hatches right next to landing gear.
Okay.
So you guys can and like SEAL Team 6 this.
Like Ghostbusters, what?
Then I'm just gonna attach the gear and just like straight up swan dive.
Okay. Can I have you roll in athletics for me?
Yeah.
Or a coordination, your choice.
It's gonna be athletics.
I
Okay.
think he's going coordination with the swan diving. I mean, you got to look elegant.
Coordination would be easier.
All right. I'm sure it would, but I have none of it, so.
All right, so athletics.
It wouldn't be.
I need you to do it against
muscles.
3 purple.
Okie doke.
Because you're swan diving.
So 1, 2, 3, and I just pushed the button right next to the
you do 3
athletic.
purple, and then you click athletics. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Okay, so
He's beautiful.
It's rain in my room.
The threat is that what you guys didn't realize when you landed is apparently a bunch of citizens have holed themselves up in the archives and boarded the doors so that the infected couldn't get them, and now several of them are dead because glass just rained down upon their heads.
Oh.
And
But
the
you
others are
succeed.
panicking because you see a swan diving Wookiee coming out of a lambda. I mean,
That's the last thing they
That
see. Maru's beautiful form falling like an angel from the heavens.
Actually, I want you. And what's your triumph?
You know what? I'm gonna.
Because I will allow you, if you want, to say that the triumph is that everybody else follows suit and you all do excellent entries.
Wait. Could I see the glass falling and somehow get in the way of the shards? I will take some damage.
No,
to save
because he
Gambit.
already landed.
yeah, that
Okay.
was for
You would have had to have been bailing out of the ship while he was landing, and that would have been a whole nother mess of trouble.
Fine.
I was just gonna dump them out, but
I just imagine the landing ramp come down and the shuttle shaking itself, and you guys are like salt and pepper falling out.
I'll say that, yeah, everybody makes a beautiful landing. Not
So
as beautiful as mine.
Everybody describe to me, starting with Maru, what exactly your dives or entry looks like.
All right. So Maru runs off the side of the shuttle. He hasn't even attached his hook yet. As he jumps out, he throws it back in, Horizon Zero Dawn style. I don't know if y'all have seen it.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome. And just begins falling backwards. The entire way he goes.
Excellent.
And he lands gracefully. Well, not gracefully. He lands
Nice.
athletically.
Yeah, I think the athletic landing would be as you near the bottom. You rotate,
Superhero landing.
You rotate
That's
in
what I was
the
doing.
belt. Yeah, you rotate in the belt, and you just land on your freaking hand and your knee, and you're like one hand's up in the air. Thud! The tiles crack a little bit underneath you because every superhero movie needs that. And I'm going to say that maybe you tuck and roll a little bit after you land because of the speed. How about you, Ty? How are you coming down the rope?
I'm going to do a traditional Australian fast rope. So pretty much, as I'm going down head first with my feet wrapped around the cord. Going down with, as I'm doing, I'm drawing my blaster, and then as I get to the end, I flip back up and then land on my feet.
Okay.
And start, processing what's in the room and stuff like that.
Teal.
Teal's the last one out.
All right, so Skirb.
Okay, I'm drawing my pistol and doing a standard superhero landing when I get to the ground.
Ah, my ankle.
Excellent.
I'm not as cool as Mom.
Teal, it's your turn.
Teal, for his exit, he reaches out the emergency, the area we're at, and attaches his ascension gun to the side of the ship so that he can exit and then punch in the security pad to make sure it's secure before lowering himself with the ascension pistol.
Okay. Yeah, so you're you
and he
get it
mutters to
attached to
himself
the
that
lower part of
Morrow
the wing.
doesn't seem to remember that these fungoids are sensitive to sound as he's going down.
Maru remembers. Maru just doesn't.
No, he's just
care.
muttering that to himself like.
Maru.
Well, I don't think it's just Maru. I think Skirb had a pretty good good part to do with that, considering he just smashed a glass skyline and sent it splintering below. But
Also,
yeah, so
We were in the
you
ship.
cut.
We didn't get to hear that.
You're sitting there in the ascension pistol. You're like, and all of you are on the ground, and you see civilians going, as these glass shards. One of the glass shards was so big it actually severed a child in half, and some of the other people have 8-inch to 12-inch daggers sticking out of them, and it seems like they kept all the elderly and children in the middle where it was easier to defend them, and those are the people who were injured the most.
I'm gonna say clear.
That's
Yep.
fucked up, man.
And
This woman
as-
runs up to the group and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Not my fault.
Is she coming up hostilely, or is she coming up in a startling manner?
She's coming up panicked, and she's running over to the elderly, sick, and women or children who have been injured. Not swinging her fist at you. She's running to them, screaming, "What are you doing?"
Ty is not going to pay attention to her. Look to Maru and go, look to Skirb. Skirb, which direction are we going?
I'm gonna pull out my sweeper and scan for a data terminal.
It's a library. There's several of them.
This one, sir.
All right, Maru, you lead. Skirb
Well, you do know
behind
this
him.
is not the government building, right? So
Yes,
you're
I know
looking-
this is not the government.
Okay, just make
So,
sure.
I'm trying to find an exit so we can get closer to the
Well,
government.
there appears to be. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna go to the terminal to get a map of the library that we're in to find
That's
the
what I was about
quickest way
to
out.
address. Yeah, you guys have no problem getting there. I mean, it's a public building. There's fire exits. It's all public information. It's
Okay.
not like no hacking needed. It appears there's one main entrance.
How many stories is this building?
4.
Is it 4? Okay. While he's slicing into it, and I'm going to be looking around and noticing how they've got it secured to where they're not getting swarmed, I'll say, "Sir, I think we
If
should."
you're looking around just real quick, you do see that there's figures going on the main doors.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Sir, I'm going to secure our exit. And with that, I'm going to use my ascension pistol and shoot 3 stories up the side of the wall and just pull myself up to the side of the building.
Yeah, you pull yourself up to the side of the building, and there are floors in this open atrium. And you would have to stand on one of them to get to the wall, so you could probably shoot up and then land on one of the floors.
So I'm imagining kind of like a mall atrium where,
Right.
or like
Mhm.
where there's big central floor, but then
And
there's
escalators. And
research levels and stuff like that. Yeah.
Going.
So, but yeah, I'll pull myself up to the 3rd floor, and basically I'm gonna look for like a large window on the 3rd floor.
yeah, it seems like there's a lot of windows on this area because this is where they read. There's couches and tables and, you know, of course books are scattered because of the panic. But you're in the self-help section and there's a window right there.
The biggest, baddest looking self-help book or encyclopedia that's around, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna chunk it through the window.
Yeah, it's called Family Ties, and it has a picture of Vader looking off into the stars sullenly. And you huck it, and it just goes out the window. But there's a book-sized hole, like a little larger than the book in the window now.
Okay.
Job.
The
Well,
entire
I'll
thing
walk
didn't
over.
splinter apart. You could climb out, like it's big enough for you to squat through, but Mara would have to create more of an opening.
I've got an armored arm, so I'm just gonna like walk up, and now that I've got the hole to where I didn't have to punch it, basically, I'm just gonna like scrape
Knock it
along the
out.
edge, clear it out,
Yeah,
and
that's
over
not
the
a problem.
comms. We've got our exit in such a way that we will not be risking the civilians below on the 3rd floor, southeast side.
And actually, right below you, you see that thanks to Skirp's fancy flying abilities, right on the other side of the street, there's a parking lot, and then there's the main entrance into the government facility. It looks like a checkpoint where they've got like a little banner that crosses the road and lifts up, and a little toll booth. And it appears that the gates have been opened.
Wonderful.
But the street out on this side seems empty. It looks like when the civilians were running into the library, it attracted all the fungoids to the front. But on the ground, you do see red blood. You do see yellow, like, porous dust on some of the walls, kind of like pollen.
Once he gets up there and does that, I'm going to direct the team to move to his position. Once Skirb gets all the information of the surrounding area and stuff like that.
Well, it just has
From the
information on the
the
map
library.
of the library itself.
Okay, so-
if you need assistance, call this number, the librarian's name, things like that.
Okay, we'll move up
Sure.
to Teal.
Something seems off. There's a phrase in the description of the library's stock. It seems out of place. It's not a word that would normally be used. It's almost like, here's this plain language that some commoner could understand, and here's the word discombobulated in the middle of it. It looks really friggin' out of place.
Can I click on it or access it?
No, it's just a word. But
What's the word?
it's just some word that's describing the duties of them. And it's a word like discombobulated. It's a very common phrase, or it's a common enough word for anybody who knows what they're talking about, but it's really odd that they would use this fancy a language in a pamphlet that's meant to be for everybody.
And that just strikes me as odd.
Well, you've been in Intel before. This is usually a cliff note.
Okay. I wouldn't know how to... Well, I'll just make note of it then.
Well, you could pull out your data pad and run an algorithm on it. You could roll computers. You could roll a knowledge check if you would like to roll a knowledge check. If you think it might be something to do with the underworld, you could roll underworld. If you think it's used by a military, you could roll knowledge warfare. Is there an intelligence-based skill you'd like to roll?
Yeah, I'll roll for Underworld to see if it has any specific like ties to any kind of like shadow type of intel stuff that I've encountered before.
Okay.
All right. What's the? Do you just need to roll it, or what's the difficulty?
I'm trying to think because that wasn't the precise skill, but it's probably one that you have better. Do you have lore by chance?
I do.
Roll lore.
I
instead,
just
that's
have 3
decent.
green in the lore. So.
Then no, don't. The
No.
difficulty on this, I think, will be 2 purple with 2 setback.
Okay. 2 purple and 2 black, right?
Yep, 2 purple, 2 black.
Okay. World.
I did something interesting in Joshua's campaign that I'm going to steal. And every time there's a wash...
Why did it roll it twice?
Oh, well, we'll keep the second one, because I didn't even notice. We'll keep the second one. Have you updated your Java this week?
I don't believe so.
That's usually what it is. Unfortunately, this is a Java-based client, so if your Java's not up to date, it does that. Roll again, but add 1 more setback and add an advantage.
A boost.
Yep.
Boost.
1 blue die and 1 more black, so it'll be 1 blue die, 3 black, 2 purple, and roll again. This is how Joshua comes to settle washes, because those are boring and stupid, and I like that idea.
Okay.
1 blue, 3 black, 2 purple.
Am I breaking a code or something like that?
No, you're just re-roll your skill.
Okay.
You've already chosen to roll this. This is to come up with a result that's not a wash.
Where the hell
Basically, the group that introduced me to the idea, they called it the rule of escalation, and that is that anytime that there's a roll in the system, something about the narrative should change. Good or bad, something should change. So they hate washes.
Okay, that makes sense.
I like the idea.
Well, when Vader was hunting for Hoth, he noticed a phrase that was used over and over again, and this word was in the phrase. And it was basically an underlying code that the rebellion put out in public channels so that other rebellion officials would know, hey, we're meeting in one spot.
So like a recall code.
Right. Contact your officers, contact your cell, find out where you need to go and meet there. And this was updated 2 days ago.
Sir, and I'm going to say, hey, this word is a known code word used by an activation code word used by rebel cells in the past. It's been updated 2 days ago.
All
Something funky with the resistance is happening.
Send word to Foreign, which is the Moff son. Send word to him and see if you can get any more data on these words and their locations.
Yeah, and the data provided by the library should be enough connection to send it off to him. But
I'll forward it to his command.
But if the resistance uses this data terminal, nothing through the system will be encrypted. They're watching it, basically.
Or at the very least, there's no way of being certain that you could encrypt it.
Right. And
without taking a shitload of time.
I mean, and the thing about Star Wars that I never liked and I never understood is how do you send a signal from your data pad to him? You need a Wi-Fi, you need some sort of connection. It's very improbable that they have one satellite that floats above the planet that handles everything. So in order to get the message off, you'll have to go back to your ship, or you'll have to find a way to hack this computer to encrypt your code.
We could do that here, or we could do that in the government building
could do it
where
here.
I know, but
I think we should wait to have a less public terminal.
There you go.
Roger
That's a good idea. Good call.
Roger that. All right.
And I'll make my way up to where Teal is.
Maru, everyone has been keeping their distance from you, sir. And finally, an elder gentleman steps forward and goes, You're with the Empire.
Uh-huh.
We could use your help. There's not very many of them in front of the door. And if they keep on banging on it the way they is, they're going to break through the glass.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Ty!
What?
Can I kill the ones by the door? I'm bored.
Ty, do you look towards the door?
Yeah, I'll look towards the door to see how many.
You see about 10 figures. Most of them are humanoid shape. However, one of them has a big plume on its head, and you hear the unmistakable noises. And you remember that those are not easy to kill.
No, we don't have time for this. Just reinforce the door and get up here. We got to get to the government building.
Sorry, old man. I can't do it.
Do you want to reinforce the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shelf and shove it in front of the door.
Roll an athletics versus 2 purple. Unless you want a really big shelf, then it's 3 purple.
I want a really big shelf.
3
I'll do
purple.
the 3 purple.
Success,
Oh, that was risky.
and you have an advantage that you could pass on to anybody else if you want, or you could say something good about it.
I'm going to say the old man feels safe now.
I
So
like
he'll
that.
shut
Yeah.
up.
So the old man reassures the crowd, and they feel safe, and everybody's like, "Yay!" Even though you killed a bunch of children and old people, yay! And
Not my fault.
now they're all safe and secure, and a few of them who are
I'm
looking
dying.
at you with disdain, you notice, are like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," and one of them comes up to you and hands you a 250 cred stick.
I go, thanks. I put it in my
thank you.
pocket.
I brought him there.
50 of that is mine.
You also killed a
Skirt.
bunch of people.
Skirp, do you
I don't
think,
care about them.
do you think the taxi driver who drove John McClane to the Nakataki building sits there at home going, "The only reason why the terrorists were stopped is because I took John McClane there"?
Yeah, he probably
He-
does.
He's like,
He's
"This
sitting
is,
in a bar stewing about it.
this is total
I could have
bullshit.
been a hero.
I am the one who brought that guy over there. He is the one who stopped Hans Gruber. I deserve some recollection, but still I am driving a cab."
It was a little black kid, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
He
yeah.
it
had
was.
the limo.
You
Yeah.
drove a limo. You racist piece of shit.
Okay, I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
so-
Change that to hip, early 90s, cool, young college kid, black kid accent. Cause
Hey,
I'm
yo,
not good at
man,
that either.
I drove him there. It really all happened because of me.
There you go. And for some reason, I see that character doing that. Back on track, though. You guys get up to the 3rd story where Teal's waiting for you.
Awesome.
I'm going to observe what he, how he smashed the window and where it is. And then look down to see how, we're 3 stories up.
Yep.
Well, Teal, how are we getting across then?
One at a time.
Alrighty. Well, show us how we do it.
You know when I said I could fly, that meant ships, right?
Teal just chuckles a bit. Maru, come here.
Yeah, okay.
Please don't break my arms, but hang on tight.
Well,
And I'm going to use the Ascension pistol and basically
I
shoot a shot
can
across the street.
show you the word.
Now, are you going to try to rappel across the street, or are you just trying to get down the building?
I'm going to shoot for something across the street, maybe like a lamp pole or something like that, to where we can slingshot down to where I'm hoping, if at all possible, we land on the inside of the gate wall area that you were talking about.
You don't want to
but at
land
very
on the
least,
inside.
yeah.
I think tactfully you want to land on the outside because you don't know what's on the inside. So you want to land outside the gate and work your way in, because if you swing into the wall, you could potentially land into a bunch of infected.
Good point. How tall is the wall? Is it like a 2-story
Probably
wall?
like 2-story, yeah.
Is there a way I can position to where I can swing us onto the wall?
Not from here. It's across a parking lot. There's a street, a parking lot, gate.
Okay, then we'll just go for landing as close to the wall, like half a block down from the gate itself, if at all possible, to where it's kind of
So like in the
isolated
middle of the
and not
parking
visible.
lot?
Well, against the wall, like just down from wherever the gate
Oh,
is. I don't
okay,
want
I
to.
see what
I don't
you're
want to park him right in front of the gate.
Yeah,
to
that's
where
not
if
a
there is
problem.
infected on the other
I
side.
could be a dick and make you shoot a ranged light for that light post, but in the for the efforts of moving forward, I think you're professional enough that you would get him down there. And are
Okay.
you just going to go back for the others one at a time?
Time.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Everybody,
Uh,
after about 5 minutes, you guys are all down against the wall, but about half a block away from the gate so that you can communicate to one another. And before we end this part of tonight's session, you guys do hear blaster fire and the torts and commands of stormtroopers on the other side of the wall. And
Cool.
they sound more like, "They're all around us. Cover that flank. And that's where we will end this part, and we will come back to you guys formulating a plan on how you're either going to get over the wall or you're just going to go through the gated area. Sound great?
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, tune in for part 3 if you like the video. Punch that like button in the face. Thank you very much, and subscribe if you haven't already, for crying out loud. Our players would love to talk to you in the comments. Leave some comments below, and we will see you in the next part. Bye-bye.